knob that was there. That 0.35 or 0.38 there in Pratt. I don't know about that. It's a little high.
Seems a little high, yeah. Emergency manager, though, right?
Oh yeah, they're yeah. I mean, they probably wouldn't, pipe or they have no reason to. Maybe they measure like a couple different surfaces.
Right. Yeah, they probably have a metal plate or something that they use. Get up here to it's Haviland. I'm gonna pull over and just quickly do a little social media information so that people know.
I might also go live on the storm mapping while we're driving.
Yeah, you can feel free to move this thing over or use yours or whatever.
Yeah, I don't really have one that's like that. I need to get one. That looks pretty damn cool. Looks like it works really well.
Yeah, I got it at 5 below, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Works like a charm. It does occasionally, if you don't really get it stuck up there good, it'll fall off on you. But, just keep trying and feel it. You'll know when it's up pretty solid. It'll feel solid. And then you're welcome to plug your phone in on this.
Okay.
So it's continually charged while you're streaming.
I don't have the same cable as you. You have an iPhone.
Oh, that's right. You've got the Droid.
Yeah, I have a cable back here that should. Well, let's get it when you stop. Your inverter's been behaving.
Yeah. Knock on wood. Of course, it'll fail tomorrow when we need it the most.
Right. Well, today could be pretty dramatic if we're successful.
If we can get down there, yeah. Still not 100%.
Yeah, I'm about 40, 60 on that. 40 not 60.
Yeah.
Well, 60 not 40.
Yeah, same here. All right. Fast approaching vehicle again. Bus. Tour bus. Icicle Tours. Run by Roger Hill. Roger Hill Enterprises. Icicle Tours.
Yeah.
We're joking, folks, in case you're watching. Don't run to sign up immediately.
Oh my God, there's an icicle tour.
I gotta go on that.
If anybody's going to have it, though, it's going to be him.
Yep. Nice icicles hanging off the Cullison sign.
No, it's starting to look pretty good.
All right. Pull in here to the grain elevator parking lot.
There you go.
Sit and do my social media stuff.
Find that cable too, and then I'll film live up on the storm mapping. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a little slick here. There you go. That little scale there, that looks pretty interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. This is looking really. Look at that. All this like right here.
Yeah.
That is really cool. That old truck, man, this is badass.
Oh, I like the truck better. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I actually like the truck better than the scale.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Because it's overrun with a.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening.
Who'd have thunk it? It's actually happening.
We'll get down there. Got the 360 cam, so hopefully the preset rates aren't as high. So I can put that on top of the vehicle. I think we're good. Yeah, that looks badass. Maybe get a photo of that too. Very treacherous out there.
I could tell it took you a little while to get positioned.
Everywhere you look, though, is a good photo.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out here in a second, get some shots. Come on, damn it. Folks will be on the road here in just a little bit again. We're just doing a little social media work to inform people that we are live.
Look at the woods already.
Oh, yes. Yeah. All right, real quick update, folks. We're right here, Circle, in western Kansas, east of Dodge City. We're going to be going down to Haviland, what was the name of that town that we were going to? Buckland. And then we're going to be dropping south to Buffalo, where we have photographs already this morning showing an absolute disaster down that way. A disaster will be developing up in the Pratt area as well. That's where we're staying. So we're going to go down, get our shots in Buffalo, and then come back this evening for Pratt. And tomorrow in Pratt should be absolutely horrendous. So a busy day today, a lot of streaming. We should be streaming pretty much all day long. Signal, if the signal holds. So tune in and spread the word. Let everybody know that we're out and about, and that we're going to be photographing and streaming and videotaping some amazing conditions. All right, we are on our way. This is also good for you guys to kind of know what the road conditions are like during a major ice storm. What road we're going to be on now is U.S. Highway 54 westbound, and the temperature is 32 degrees.
So I could plug this in, right?
Shot this guy. Yep.
Actually, you know what? I could probably plug it in over here. Plug it into your inverter.
Okay. I don't know if there's an available space. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's got the USB holes.
I'll take your little thingy, your suction.
Oh, I'm getting this shot of this.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, let me get a little video of that. Wow, that looks like it sticks real well.
Now yeah. Tight? Yeah, perfect.
Oh, thanks, man.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm good. You can go.
Okay. I'm losing my visibility on my...
Tells you how much this is accumulating.
Yeah, quickly. Real quick.
Your weather station's probably just caked.
Hey, good morning, everyone. We are on chat. Hi, Dave. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Bob. Bike Rider, Moffle. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Cash.
I'll do a little bit of the inside vehicle perspective for a little bit, and then I'll put it up there.
Don is streaming on Facebook Live on storm mapping. He's got shots from inside the vehicle. If you guys want to have two windows up, go to stormscapelive.tv, and also Don's Facebook page for storm mapping, and you'll be able to watch what's going on inside the vehicle as well. And also when we go mobile outside the vehicle, walking around, showing you some of the ice scenes, Don will be streaming that as well on his storm mapping Facebook page, and I'll probably do a little bit as well. So we should have this well covered video-wise. Again, the plan is to head down to Buffalo, Oklahoma, which is, about 2 hours away, given the road conditions, maybe 2.5, and check out what appear to be some disastrous scenes in that town. They had wave after wave after wave of freezing rain move through from yesterday afternoon and through the night, and even now. So it's apparently a really bad scene down there, and that has kind of moved up here now, and we're quickly developing severe ice storm conditions here in the western portions of south central Kansas and eastern southwestern Kansas. So it's just going to deteriorate as the day goes on up here as well.
Landscape is continuing to ice over, becoming more and more prevalent.
Thanks for sharing, Perry. Everybody, just pimp out our stream. That's really the only way folks know anymore. There used to be, nifty maps that you could go to that showed all the live streamers, and there is to some extent now, but we're not on that, so our word of mouth is the best way to spread the fact that we're streaming. So we really do appreciate you guys letting other folks know. Right now I'm going 50 miles per hour. And temperature is 32 degrees. Road conditions are wet and slushy. You can see the ruts that have been made by the cars. In that zone there where the tires have been, the roadway is just wet. You get outside of that and it's slushy. Nothing that I would call icy. They've treated the road with sand and salt. You can see that, and that's done wonders, as well as the temperature not dropping down into the mid and upper 20s. If it did that, even the sand and salt would have trouble keeping the roadway clear of ice. So we're thankful the temperatures are at or just below freezing to help a little bit with the road conditions to get us to where we need to go to see some really dramatic scenes. Now the plan is if it gets too bad, we'll just hightail it back to Pratt and forget about going down to Buffalo. It'll just be, kind of the same conditions that are in Buffalo today should be up in Pratt tomorrow. So we won't be too sad, but we want to try to document both areas to give you the most comprehensive look at this ice storm.
Just had a question come through the storm mapping live. What type of conditions are we experiencing in the disaster zone? We're talking about widespread trees and power lines down, probably a lot of damage to vehicles, homes, with trees falling on, just on anything property-wise, vehicles. We know we have widespread power outage issues. So this is some of we're going into an area that has had extensive freezing rain overnight. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of what we're going into and what's going to be developing further to the north and east later on this afternoon. This is a really good stream for, especially you folks downstream, especially further north in the parts of Kansas and even further to the northeast, because these are some of the conditions you may be experiencing later on as the precipitation moves off to the north and east. We've been into this in several hours now, and even parts of Oklahoma have been in it all day yesterday. So that's why there's disaster conditions down there already. Currently we are heading to Buffalo, Oklahoma. That's right there, just in the extreme northern part of Oklahoma in the Panhandle. Currently the temperature where we're at right now is hovering between 30 and 32 degrees. So we've got light to moderate rain, which is accumulating on all the surfaces. Give you a little bit of an idea here. I'll try to roll down. You can see here ice is already accumulating on our mirror out there. We have a weather station on top of this vehicle, which is probably encased in ice. That's not bad.
Yeah, it looks good. Wow, look at these trees.
Yeah, I know.
They're really getting caked. Trees are really getting caked with ice, folks, and they're starting to droop pretty well. These branches will be snapping pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's really only just begun here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another 2 solid waves of precip yet to come.
Well, we don't have ice skates with us, but yeah, some of these secondary roads we were kind of sliding on this morning. Even trying to walk was a little bit difficult. We were actually kind of having a little bit of fun with that. But right now we are just west of Pratt, Kansas. So we're heading southwest to Buffalo, Oklahoma to check out some of the disaster scenes. I think they probably accumulated at least 3/4 of an inch down there, probably even a little more, I would imagine. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say at least probably more like an inch.
Yeah, and with those precip rates and overnight, yeah.
Saw a little thing from Umshide saying that he had 0.99 at his house.
Really?
Near Dodge, so if they've got 0.99 in Dodge.
Is that just total precipitation or accumulation?
I didn't pay attention. He just had whether or not it was the ice or just precip.
If it's those of you folks just tuning into the stream and wondering what storm mapping is for the first time, we have a program that allows you to see your current condition, get your warnings, advisories, look up historical weather events, hail paths, you name it. And what we're going to be doing this year is we're really going to be documenting all the extreme weather events. So right now we're documenting an extreme ice storm, but we've got some. Is that a car off the road up there?
It could be.
It looks like he's in the ditch.
Yep.
They need to stop and see if he needs help.
Yeah, check him out here.
He's definitely off the road.
I'm gonna pull off. Actually, on his side of the road.
Yeah, there we go. See if he needs some help. Well, you never know, folks. They go off the road. Well, you never know why they went off the road, if they're having a heart attack or something. So, might want to get just a little off the road here.
I just don't want to slide.
Okay.
Looks like he's all right, young guy. He's all right.
Okay.
You
call a tow truck already?
Yeah, he's already called. Said he was driving below speed limit. Just hit a patch of ice. So
wow.
It shows you how dangerous it is, folks. How treacherous. It may seem good. Before you know it, boom, you're off. This truck gets by. Yeah, sneakers. That's like Reed Timmer doing search and rescue in flip-flops.
That's really accumulating on this mirror. Holy shit. I think it's a little colder than what your thermometer is saying.
Yeah. Hey, legs.
Have a question. Do you have snow tires on the penetrator?
No. Just some all-purpose, all-weather tires I need, which actually are needing to be replaced here before spring. Storm chasers typically replace their tires every spring. It's good to have good new rubber going into the spring season, but we've got enough tread now to be just fine. All right, Perry, we'll see you in a little bit.
Right now we are west of Pratt, Kansas. We're heading toward Buffalo, Oklahoma. where there should be extensive damage. Just got a report from somebody on this chat. Woodward, Oklahoma is a mess.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Thanks for that, Damien.
Yeah, I can imagine that whole northwest Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma panhandle, northeast Texas area. The northeast Texas panhandle is probably just an absolute disaster zone.
Hi, Savannah. So yeah, folks, of you just tuning in to the live stream, I think I was saying something before we came across a spin out. Sign up for a free storm mapping account. Just go over to stormmapping.com, create a free account. You keep up with the latest with the ice storm, and not only just winter weather, but with any extreme weather. You can look at your forecast, get current warnings, watches, and advisories. It's quite a unique weather visualization tool, and it's free. So all you gotta do is go and you create your free account, and you can keep up with the latest on what we're doing. Not only when we come into these extreme winter storms, but we'll be doing a lot of things throughout the spring as we go into severe weather events like tornadoes and the powerful hailstorms. We'll be doing a lot, so just keep following us on storm mapping, and you create your free account, you'll get on a mailing list where you can keep up to date with what we're doing and where we're going to be during extreme weather events.
And if I could mention, if you guys get a chance and you see some dramatic weather and it's safe, get some photographs of that and send it to storm mapping as well, so we can kind of create a visual archive as well as a data archive of these events. And we want to get you involved in a very interactive way with us to help us document these events. So not only are we going out here and documenting it with video and photos and live streams, we'd like for you to try to document as well. But again, do it only when it's safe, and try to send your photos to storm mapping. We are not affiliated with any media organization, so your video and photographs will not be shared for profit. They'll just be used on the storm mapping site as another visual archive. And what's the process, Don? And somebody takes a picture. What do they do? Where do they go to send the picture?
Well, you can send a picture. You can send it to my email, at don@stormmapping.com. Probably the easiest way to do it is just on our Facebook page. Just tag us, and we're usually pretty good about reading our messages and comments. So if you have anything extreme or you want us to share, you think it's pretty cool, we'll be more than glad to share it. As long as it's not, if it's worth sharing, we're going to share it. You should know what you're sending to us, but it's really easy. We've already shared quite a few photos from different people. So, and we're not going to use it to make money off you. We'll we'll give credit to you. You can watermark your photos, do whatever you want. We'll just share them. Just let other people know what's going on. Well, that's really going to be interesting, though. We're going to go from this winter storm event to possibly talking about a major severe weather event over the next week. So, quite the active pattern we're going into. So, we'll be doing a lot here with storm mapping.
Yeah, literally as soon as we finish this winter storm, you're going to see graphics and maps posted in relation to the severe weather event, or a couple of severe weather events that are coming down the pike between now and the 1st of February. You're going to see a wholesale change in the pattern as we head into the end of the month and into February, and we're going to go to a warm and dry western United States to a colder and stormy eastern U.S. And on the nose of that, typically you get a severe weather outbreak. So when the pattern changes, we could be looking at something pretty dramatic.
Hey, Carol, anybody can join. Canada, the UK. The only thing different with places outside the United States is you're not going to be able to get a forecast and some of the other weather data that we provide here in the United States. But what we do provide for areas outside the United States, you can check your current conditions. You can check conditions all across the globe. So and we're continuing to work to expand storm mapping to be more global. But right now, there's more features for the United States, but you can do some things globally, such as Canada. But yeah, you can get on our mailing list, keep up with what we're doing, where we're going to be. So definitely, join up for storm mapping. Go create a free account.
All right, folks, as you see the radar here, we are through the heavy band of precipitation, and we're going to be in lighter, just light rain and drizzle for a while. And then the secondary band is going to be developing kind of off to the west here. You can already see the makings of it here. That'll be expanding and increasing and coming in as well. Wave after wave of freezing rain. That's going to be the story for today and even into tonight. This event really is just beginning. I mean, it started in earnest about 1 to 2 o'clock early this morning, and it is going to continue through the day today and into tonight.
Folks watching on the storm map.
And we are back.
Hey, Stacy, thanks. Yeah, we'll do our best to stay safe, as much as we can driving in an ice storm. You can tell conditions have really let up here.
Yeah.
Now, Pratt's just going to get hammered, though. I think the models were really honing in on something.
Should be quite the scene when we get back tonight.
Because it looks like they're just going to stay in it. This is just going to keep riding up.
Riding up, yeah. We're starting to get into that more of a northerly movement with the echoes today. Kind of screwed us yesterday. Today it'll work to our benefit.
Right. Hey, Rob. Currently, we're heading toward Buffalo, Oklahoma. We're currently in southwestern Kansas.
Actually approaching Greensburg, which suffered a devastating EF5 tornado in 2007. We'll be driving through Greensburg here over the next 5 minutes. Actually, we're about to enter the eastern side, and you'll be able to see the eastern side of Greensburg. A lot of trees, no problems. But once you get to the closer to the downtown area, total devastation. The town was leveled, but now it's being built back. The trees, however,
These power lines.
yeah,
They're really weighing down.
sagging pretty good. We're gonna want to watch that.
Yeah.
See if we get something real dramatic. Let's definitely stop. I don't think that's good enough yet.
No, it's not.
But yeah, they're starting to sag good. Probably about a ½ inch out here. Usually that's kind of the way it looks. Those windmills look like they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it would take a hell of a lot more ice than what we have. Yeah, it's definitely there's some thick ice on these power lines.
Wow, look how white these trees are. All right, we are in Greensburg, folks, and you'll see up ahead we lose the trees, and that's where the tornado cut through southwest to northeast through the city. Killed 9 people, I believe, in Greensburg. Could have been a lot worse. It hit during the evening hours, about 9:30. It was dark, over a mile wide, and we had a tornado emergency issued by the National Weather Service. Mike Umscheid issued that warning out of Dodge City, and it was responsible for saving many, many lives here in Greensburg. So kudos to Mike and the Weather Service and getting the word out, and also our storm chasers and storm spotters who were all over this tornado and were able to give early warning of how big it was and how dangerous it was, and that gave Mike the confidence to issue that tornado emergency. So everybody worked together to save lives that night, and sadly, though, we did lose, I think, 9 people, and several of those people were elderly in their 60s and 70s, and a town like this, there are a lot of older populations, and sometimes they can't get to safety in time and move around the way younger folks can, and who knows what the situation was. They may have tried to take shelter, but just,
that monument here? Let's
Yeah.
see what that looks like with ice real quick.
Oh, okay. Good idea. We're going to go over to the little monument they have to the tornado victims here in Greensburg and check that out real quick. Look at that ice up there. That's kind of neat.
Oh, yeah. Mobile here for people. See some of the ice. They're accumulating on some of the surfaces.
Downtown Greensburg, a winter wonderland. Oh, look at the accumulation on those little trees there.
Right.
It's pretty.
I think the theme here so far is if you have to travel, just be very careful, extremely careful.
Yeah. It can be done in an emergency, but you got to be very, very careful.
Actually, yes, ice is building up on our equipment. You can see here, our mirrors are already covered. We have a weather station on top. I'll show you guys as soon as we stop. That's probably caked in ice on top of the vehicle. Oh shit. Didn't mean to start the video on the other one. There we go. Is this where it's at?
Yeah.
Ah. This should be really cool looking.
That sculpture there with the thundercloud with the icicles hanging off of it.
That's kind of
neat picture.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to get out and look at this.
Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to go outside the vehicle. I'm going to leave the camera on the memorial here. Maybe zoom in a little bit, and we're going to walk around and go on Facebook Live. I'll be on Facebook Live. Don will be for storm mapping as well. And we'll give you some closer shots outside of the vehicle. Pretty slick.
See that weather station, folks? Look how much ice that is.
All right, getting ready to go live on Facebook Live on my main page, folks. So stand by for that. Little nippy out. All right, going back to StormscapeLive.tv. Don Murray is still out with storm mapping Facebook Live, so go to the Facebook page for storm mapping. Tune into Don as well.
A little more ice here than I thought.
Yeah.
Temperature dropped. Of course, that just might be the ice building up on the vehicle too. I guess pretty neat photos of that.
Good. Excellent, excellent. Walk on the grass, you won't end up on your ass. Ah, good one, Les. Spoken like a true northerner.
Where's he from?
Wisconsin.
Ah.
Just on the other side of you.
That does make sense.
I do not think there is a motel in Greensburg. No. No lodging in Greensburg. There is in Pratt and in Dodge City. Between Pratt and Dodge, there's just these smaller towns which do not have lodging. I take that back. There is now a Best Western Plus on the west side of Greensburg, as well as an RV park. So yes, lodging, and nice lodging indeed. Indoor pool on the west side of Greensburg, right next to the hospital. So if you're planning a Chase vacation and looking for lodging in Greensburg, there it is. We got more snowplow action up here in front of us. Scraping the ice.
text you said that the signal hasn't dropped once yet with this Facebook stream, so that's good. So good. There's another alternative for people.
Yeah. Well, now 183, I'm thinking was our road, but I thought it was Buckland where we caught it.
Did you have the GPS?
No, I don't have it back up again. I closed it down because I was so confident.
Did you want me to?
Yeah, check real quick. I want to keep going because. But then 183 sounds familiar. Buckland is 18 miles.
Yeah, it says that route's 7 minutes slower, so we can continue this way.
Okay. Shannon, we are typically driving between 40 and 50 mile an hour on this road. I don't feel confident going over 50, and what I've been doing is pulling over slowly onto the shoulder and letting the fools that want to drive 60 and 70 miles an hour pass me, so I don't feel pressure to go faster.
Yeah, we've already seen some people go off the road already, so we know what the conditions are like.
Yep. Like the next time I pull over, which is going to be pretty quick, I'm going to scrape this window of this mirror again.
It's quite the build up there. Look at that.
I know.
Yes, watch it. Really iced over here on the side. Cool.
Do you see that scraper?
Yeah, it's right here.
Thanks, sir. Oh yeah, you're not done yet at all. The upper low is still in New Mexico, Kathy. So there's at least 2 more very significant waves of precipitation to go, maybe 3. And each one of those is going to deposit probably around a 1/4 inch or so, if not a little more, depending on how long they last, each one. And we're also kind of getting into a pattern now with the approach of the upper low, where the rain elements, the echoes, are moving more in a northerly fashion today. So you're getting a lot of training over the same areas, south to north. And that is going to produce these bands of significant ice accumulations through south central Kansas, central Kansas, southwest Kansas. Wherever these more significant bands set up is where, you know, you'll have your jackpot totals probably pushing 2 inches of ice accumulation when all's said and done.
DFS loves Pratt right now. That 12Z, 1.25 inch. Let's see what that. That's the 12Z.
Oh yeah,
DFS.
Nice bullseye.
So let's pull up some other data here.
There is a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch accumulation on the power lines and trees. Roads are slushy. We haven't encountered any ice yet on the roadways. They're wet basically in the ruts here where we're driving, and then you get outside where the tires have been and it's a little slushy. The shoulders are icy, but they're the consistency there is where you can get traction. They have laid salt and sand down.
My 1Z on the HR, the latest one.
Oh yes.
That's pretty good.
We're looking at our forecast models, folks, and they continue to be very bullish for the Pratt area, showing the highest ice totals right around Pratt, heading into later this afternoon and tonight. So the scene in Pratt tomorrow could be very similar to what we see in Buffalo if we make it to Buffalo. Again, our mission is to make it to Buffalo, Oklahoma. We're about 14 miles or so from our road that turns south that will take us to Buffalo. That road is not nearly as well traveled as U.S. Highway 54. It may be not as well treated as well. So conceivably, when we get onto that road going south in Buckland, our journey west may end. At that point, we will turn back to Pratt, get some shots around Pratt this afternoon, document kind of the mid-section of the ice storm for comparison purposes, and then just kind of hunker down, watch some football, and get out and see some amazing stuff tomorrow. It should be pretty dramatic in Pratt tomorrow. There are several places that we are definitely going that we have scouted out that will be quite dramatic in a major ice storm.
Yeah, we'll be doing a bunch of different ways to document this ice storm. We have drones. We've already done our before footage, and so we should have some pretty dramatic after video of that. We have 360 cameras, and well, we tried to do a time lapse. It didn't work out so well. Maybe we can, when we get back, do something with that. And it is kind of a bummer with that tree, man.
Yeah.
I don't think the time lapse is going to work out so well.
No.
But I think we should have enough content from this that we should be alright. There should be enough to document. A time lapse is always the most difficult, I think, to capture with anything.
Yeah. Well, we learned some lessons on this trip that will help us with time lapse in the future, these type of events. So it's all good.
Actually, you know what? Tonight might not be so bad with the tree. The trees will probably continue to weigh down with precipitation overnight.
Right.
I'll throw it out when we get back anyway, just because.
Current speed is 43 miles an hour.
Which isn't all that bad considering we're driving through an ice storm.
No doubt. Yeah, this is definitely not like driving through Georgia. In an ice storm. Temperature outside is 32, probably more like 31. It's not excessively cold, but definitely cold enough. And temperatures will not rise today. The warm advection is being held at bay by the denser Arctic air mass that remains in place for one more day, but it will relent later tonight and tomorrow, and much warmer conditions are on the way for the plains. There'll be a very rapid melt-off, and that can be dangerous as well, as this ice on Monday and Tuesday will be falling from pretty high spots on some buildings and power lines and towers and things like that. So folks are going to want to be careful driving around, even on Monday and Tuesday as the ice melts and falls.
There's one thing that's clearly evident. There's a pocket of cold air there in central, that little area between Pratt and Great Bend. This Pratt's still recording 28, Great Bend, or just north of that's 29. Probably looking at the roads.
Okay, just kind of, it's a little weird there at that corner. Looks like they've treated this just as well as they had the others. So. Really good. Oh, we're going to see that metal art down here. That'll be interesting. The guy that's got the weird metal sculptures around his property.
Oh yeah, that should be pretty cool.
Well, that stuff caked in ice can be fun to look at. Folks, we may make a brief stop up here at the metal art exhibit along the highway where the guy has some stuff out. It might actually be on the other road. There's a little bit on this one here, I see. But if not, we'll just continue on forging ahead.
And Pratt is looking like Buffalo did yesterday, radar-wise.
Hope we can get back.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have a problem if we get down there. Again, let's try to limit our time down there to about an hour.
Right.
Just boom, 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 get the most dramatic shots and get the hell out. But definitely try to get back to Pratt before dark.
And folks, if the connection goes in and out, we're kind of going into somewhat of a dead zone, it looks like. We don't really have control over that, so sorry.
Yeah, Western Kansas is pretty good Verizon territory, and that's what I think both of us are using right now, right?
Right, yeah.
So,
it was just giving me the weak signal alert,
Right.
so I was just making a note.
I would say we'll have about 90% connectivity, and just be patient. We'll be back as soon as we can. It's not a big deal. But we do plan on streaming all day long, so we will not be shutting the stream down. Keep spreading the word, folks, that we are live. Things are going to get real dramatic here over the next couple of hours, and folks are going to want to see this, because an ice storm disaster like this is a step above what most people have ever experienced or even witnessed in their life. And even though you're witnessing it through a live stream, it is kind of real to you, and it'll make an impression. And if you're ever in a situation like this, you'll be able to draw on this information, this storage of knowledge that you gained on this trip, and be able to make the proper decisions and choices to help save life and property if ever faced with one of these extreme weather conditions. And that's kind of been my mission over the past 30 years as I've chased, is just to kind of show people these extreme weather conditions so they can know more about them and actually feel like they've been a part of it in such a way as to where they're able to make the right kind of choices. Because we're all nothing more than the sum of our experiences. So if you've never experienced anything like this, you have a much greater chance of making the wrong choice or decision when faced with a situation like this. So this helps get you that knowledge that you need to survive. These poor cattle. It's balmy to them.
Yeah, it's not too cold. They're probably used to worse.
They're probably thinking it's pretty cool, the crunchy grass. It's a delicacy. It's like dessert. Yeah. Much worse. Blizzards is what does the cattle in. 45 mile an hour, still steadily westbound here on US 54. Probably only about 6 or 7 miles now from Buckland, where we'll be headed south. And you might be asking yourself, how in the world can it just be raining like this when it's at or below freezing? It should be snowing. And a lot of folks think that that's the case. As soon as you hit freezing, rain turns to snow. But it is far more complicated than that. The atmosphere, from surface to top, is a multi-layered cake. Think of it as just a large multi-layered cake. And each layer has different temperatures, sleet. So with a freezing rain situation, you have a shallow cold air layer at the surface. But for sleet, you have a thicker cold air surface. And then for snow, you have temperatures at or below freezing from the surface all the way through the atmosphere. Now, it doesn't have to be below freezing right at the surface. I've seen big snowflakes fall at 42 degrees, but it's been a very thin layer of mild air right at the surface, not thick enough to melt the snowflakes that are large enough that fall through it. So you can get snow when temperatures are above freezing at the surface. It is common.
Yeah, I've seen it all the time.
So as you can see, it takes more than just freezing to produce winter precipitation. It's not a magic number that instantly turns things to snow or ice or whatever. There's a lot that goes into it.
Just like you can have sleet at like 50 degrees. I've seen that before too.
Yep. Yeah, especially when the dew point is really low and you get evaporation and cooling.
I've seen, with the evaporation and cooling, especially in North Georgia, that surprised forecasters with snow events, where you'd be up there, especially in North Georgia, where you get this heavy rain and then it starts bringing down some of that, start to cool the column, and you actually start accumulating a couple of inches. That actually happened last year. They actually had to do a quick winter weather advisory. No snow was in the forecast, and ended up dropping 2 to 4 inches north of Canton to Cumming Line in Georgia.
Yeah.
And that caught me off guard. I look out the window, I'm like, is that snow? And it's snowing. I'm outside, I'm like, really those thick flakes, and it was really coming down and starting to accumulate. That's an example of evaporational cooling there. And I called the weather office, and they didn't believe me. I had to send them photos. And they're like, wow, okay. I'm like, I know this sounds crazy. I get it. I wasn't expecting this either. But I'm going to send you a photo. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they started getting reports of accidents, I think. And then they had to issue a winter weather advisory. That was pretty interesting.
And like you said the other day, a lot of times, at least in Georgia, in the past, once it turns to snow, it usually will stay snow for a while.
Right. Didn't work out for me, though.
Warm layer that's surging north, like we had with the ice storm, it just didn't work out. Yeah, I was pretty jealous of you. I said, you're going to get at least 4 inches.
Yeah, it was looking like it, dude. I was pissed. I was able to do a little sledding, though, the next day. It was all right. I had some plastic containers I was dicking around with.
I saw that.
I don't know.
Cracked pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have a sled, so I had to find something.
Well, the boogie board worked pretty well.
Oh, yeah, the boogie board did work. Well, it worked up until the plastic started coming off, and then there started friction. But, yeah, that worked really good the first time. So it was my sad attempt to sled in Georgia.
Well, the road's a little more slushy here. It hasn't been treated quite as well. So I've lowered my speed to right around 40. I feel that's prudent for the conditions.
We get down there, we don't dick around. We get our shots, come back. It's only 10:30 here. So,
yeah,
I think we'll be all right.
Making better time than I thought we would. This is buckling here, so. Chances are we'll own that road going south. We'll be the only ones on it. Nobody else is stupid enough to be out in these conditions. You'll notice the truckers are out, though, folks. They keep the world moving, So they got to be out doing their thing.
The only thing that concerns me about truck drivers sometimes is they think they're so good.
Yeah.
And they really get arrogant with their driving skills a lot of times. And they're really good drivers. They experience a lot of weather conditions. But sometimes, it can be to the detriment of them and other people.
It's like the one that forced the plow off the road there in Utah. That was crazy.
I've seen truck drivers, just go off the road. The blizzard in Montana one time, just went right off, rolled down. It was actually kind of a bad scene. I've seen cattle truck flip over, and this is just in wet conditions, right in front of me. I was in the Texas Panhandle on a chase day. Cattle truck flips over right in front of me.
Jesus.
With our daily exorcism ritual that we have to engage in with Mike here. He,
All right, Buckland, Kansas, folks. Buckland, the thriving metropolis. As you'll notice, here is the skyscraper of the plains, also known as grain elevators. All of the small towns in Kansas, this is their highest structure.
Lived in a small town in Michigan where we had silos just like this. I used to climb it all the time. I bet that's what these small town kids do. They get up there and try to climb them.
Yep.
See the ice accumulating on the power lines here really nicely.
Oh, yeah.
They're really starting to weigh down.
So is it 34 that we're taking? South to Ashland?
Yeah, let me look. fast signal here, so bear with me. Yeah, 34. Sorry.
It's all right.
Hey Bob, you're from Battle Creek, the home of the cereal.
And I'm from Wichita, the home of the serial killer. BTK.
Yeah, you should definitely not be a travel agent for people in Wichita.
All right, here are the conditions in Buckland. The bank sign saying 29 degrees.
Which seems more realistic. I mean,
it almost looks like they may have had slightly less accumulation than even Greensburg. So
right.
Some of the trees, they don't look quite as coated.
Yeah, well, there's that north-south axis, and I don't think they've been in it as much as that corridor has been over there now.
True that. Quiet little town. Everybody indoors. No reason to be out.
Man, Pratt is just getting slammed.
Still.
Yeah.
That heavy axis
it's just not letting up there. And it's just more training in. It's like they're not even.
And look down south.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster in Pratt.
Ice storm disaster developing in Pratt, Kansas, folks. We're going to be checking out the area down here around Buffalo and then quickly making our way back to Pratt.
Look at these power lines right here. Like really drooping down.
Yeah, they are. "39 miles to the state line." Buffalo is just over the state line, so we're about probably an hour and a half from Buffalo, given the conditions, or we may not make it at all. Again, we're going to be gauging the conditions of this roadway as we head south, folks. I hate to disappoint you, but if it's bad enough, we're not going to Buffalo. We're going to go back to Pratt and document the ice storm unfolding in Pratt as we speak.
There's still heavy freezing rain occurring in Buffalo right now.
Oh, yeah, that second batch coming up. What the hell? So I got to stop and get my phone that fell down on the floor. Unless you can reach it over here. Let me push it over.
Yep, I got it. There you go.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure it's not my daughter calling here.
It's not going to be too much further south. We're going to start seeing some heavier ice accumulations because that was where that axis overnight was. And it did come up into extreme southern Kansas.
This isn't too bad here.
No, it's not. I mean, if it can stay like this, I think we should make it easy.
We'll make it easy, no doubt. They've treated it. It's sanded and salted.
Yeah, this could just be mainly a elevated surface issue. We got to bury these bridges. Yeah, definitely. It's still quite problematic. It's still going to be slippery. It's definitely accumulating on the trees and power lines. Hey, thanks, Marianne. Yeah, we're in the midst of a pretty substantial ice storm right now. We are in extreme southwestern Kansas. We're moving our way into parts of Oklahoma, like the extreme northern part in a town called Buffalo, which has seen extensive damage from the ice overnight. I really do think we made a good call for Pratt, though, overall, because look at this. This is just...
Yes. That was a good home base. got to be a little annoying when the whole thing slowed down. And we just were waiting and waiting.
Right. Oh yeah.
That's always tough. But we were smart sticking to our guns and staying there, knowing full well that we could probably do this today. Making that trip down to Medicine Lodge was crucial.
Yeah, well, that was definitely even though road conditions obviously a little more worse today, it told us that the roads will probably be fine.
Yeah.
For the most part. It's just a matter of looking out for idiots.
Right. It helped to build my confidence. When you're not confident, you're more likely to say no. No, I'm just not going to do it. Now, what's nice, folks, is this is mainly a tree and fence and car and elevated surface event. The roads have been treated with salt and sand, and with temperatures right at or just below freezing, the roads are mainly slushy. And that'll be the case all day long. Temperatures aren't going to fall into the mid-20s today, so roads will stay like they are right now for the rest of the day. And they'll also be out treating throughout the day with more salt and sand and scraping any ice off the roadway. So I'm not expecting too many difficulties getting back to Pratt. Again, it'll be a slow go, and we'll take our time, and we should be back in Pratt, by 4 o'clock. But I will say again, if conditions rapidly deteriorate on this road and I start feeling the slight bit of slipping around on a consistent basis, we'll turn it around. But I haven't felt that at all today. There's not been one moment since we left Pratt where I've felt out of control. And I don't want to give people a false sense of safety here. We're professional drivers. I've driven over 1 million miles in my lifetime. And, we know how to drive. I don't get crazy and try to drive fast. I'm going 35 miles an hour right now. And there's no reason to go any faster. There's nobody on the road. Why should I rush down to Buffalo, Oklahoma, when I know I can get there safely at 35? If I bump that up to 50 or 55 or 60, I'm rapidly increasing my odds of not making it there. So I hope you guys have noticed what I do as well when these big semis come up and get on your tail, and they will get right on your tail, and also the spray will blind you as they pass you. Pull over on the shoulder and let them pass. You'll see them coming up in your rear view. Slow down way before they get to you. Get off on the shoulder, let them pass, come back out again. Much safer that way. You're not going to lose your man card or your woman card as a driver if you pull over and let a 50-ton vehicle pass you at 60 miles an hour. Now here's the situation we're facing. As we head south, ice accumulations are going to become greater and greater. Not only off the road, but on the road. So even with treatment, as we get farther south, conditions are going to become worse. So I'm going to need to be very careful, and we're also not 100% sure. Check your phone. Strong signal now.
No, I'm still out of it. So it must be your amplifier. A lot of times when I restart my phone too, it like picks up on it.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happens. That's why I turned this off and back on down here. It's the same process. Well, it's about as photogenic as we thought it'd be out here.
Right. No, I think once we get back to Pratt, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Well, especially tonight with that main upper low coming in. If that comes in bodily right over Pratt again, man.
Right.
That final assault can be the most damaging. That's when it'll get real spooky tonight, hearing trees falling and crashing around the area.
By spooky, you mean awesome, then yes.
It's an eerie sound. But yeah, pretty damn awesome. Folks, we have a good solid signal now. If you don't have us refresh, somebody might want to mention that in chat for folks to refresh. Our goal is to be in Buffalo, Oklahoma by around noon, and we're right on schedule for that. Right now driving at about 43 miles an hour, temperature 31 degrees. I'm taking a degree off from my car thermometer. I believe it runs just a tad bit more. So about 31. Conditions are okay. Roads are wet to slushy. Have not encountered any ice patches on the roadways. They have been treated with salt and sand and are in pretty good shape due to the temperature being right around freezing now. Any other elevated surface off the roadway covered in ice. Looks like about a half-inch accumulation of ice on everything. Apparently down in Buffalo, it's probably more like an inch. And this will just show you what an inch of ice will do when we get down here. You'll be quite amazed if we can get into the town of of how it looks and how much tree damage can be brought by these sorts of conditions. Now, if it's anything like Georgia's ice storms, the citizens will be out with their chainsaws making quick work of any of the trees that have come down. So we'll see probably quite a bit of that and hear quite a hum of chainsaws around the town when we get to it. But again, the goal is to get to Buffalo and then head back to Pratt, where a ice storm is underway right now as we speak. When we get back to Pratt, we'll document the conditions that have deteriorated since we left earlier this morning, and then be out and about around the Pratt area all day tomorrow, documenting various scenes that we've scouted out over the past few days of being around the Pratt area. And there are a lot of really cool scenes that we want to capture that would be pretty cool looking in ice. And then make our way back to Georgia on Tuesday and start looking at the next severe weather event potentially for Dixie Alley coming up.
Yeah, I think as soon as I get back, I'll release a graphic on that thread if it still is continuous. We can go with that and maybe get some crap for that one.
Yeah.
Until it happens.
I was looking at instability parameters this morning on the GFS, and they didn't look all that great. It's probably going to be one of those low cape, high shear.
Well, the Euro was a little higher. But yeah, I mean, it is that time of year. It probably is going to be one of those deals. But a lot of the cases, too, the GFS underdoes it until you get in range, and then all of a sudden,
right,
that happens more often than not, actually. Like that Mississippi event back in late November, where you had a bunch of supercells training. That was, this model started off just like what it is now. I think what happens is it uses a little bit of climatology that far out with the models, and then eventually it starts to pick up on more of the...
It does show some, though, and it kind of indicates the last big one will come through right around the 29th or 30th, and that's when the cold air dumps it in. We actually get a little swath of snow on the GFS across northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia on the 30th.
Well, we know where that's going to go. If it happens, it'll be sleet or nothing. It's a pretty easy forecast for Georgia there. And then you get that rare occasion where something interesting might happen. Wonder why?
Right.
This would be much more dramatic right now if we were in a wooded area or a more populated area right now. Of course, I think we're about to experience what it will be here in about 30 minutes.
Very exciting. I can't wait. Oh, there's truckers on this road, and that's probably why it's so good, is they've been traveling it all night and day, off and on. We've encountered about 3 or 4 trucks. But for the most part, it's pretty deserted, as it should be. Here's a little wooded area down here in this little creek valley.
Yeah, we're also getting into the area. I was looking at some of the rainfall estimates, and we're getting ready to cross that line from marginal to really extreme amounts.
Well, that's a good product to look at off of the NextRad is the storm total preset.
Yes, that's what I was checking out, and we're getting ready to cross that line.
Didn't even think of that.
It's starting to become evident too.
Yeah, it's pretty thick stuff. And look how they're hanging over here.
Yeah.
These trees are really drooping, folks. Don's analyzed the storm total precip, and we're getting ready to head into an area that's had the highest amount of precipitation for the past 24 hours. And it's all ice.
Wonder how your weather station's faring. What kind of readings we'd be getting?
The anemometer is still spinning. I can hear it up there, but it's making noise now. It's
right. Yeah, it's a little off balance. Yeah.
I can't believe it's still spinning. Wow, look at these trees, Dad. Oh, look at the
it's
irrigation equipment.
I tell you what, I was comparing some of these rates, and I was looking at Pratt, and it's getting up there. I'm really curious. Hopefully we get back with some daylight left when we get back there. Let's see. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, we're heading into the ice storm disaster zone, folks. It's pretty apparent from the trees. Yeah, it was just the cups for the anemometer, little anemometer cups. I bought about 3 replacements. I've got a couple handy.
Looking more dramatic. Wow.
Much more dramatic.
Really ugly.
This is what I wanted to see right here.
Yes.
This is what I've driven 1,500 miles for.
Branches off already over here.
Yeah. Some natural pruning going on, courtesy of Mother Nature. You never have to have your trees pruned out here in the plains. Nature does it for you. Sometimes quite significantly.
Sometimes it takes it all away from you.
Pretty much. Root level pruning. Freezing rain is picking up in intensity.
Man, I really hope my signal improves.
We are not sure if Buffalo has power. Good question. Most likely not.
Well, the sounds of it did not.
Be highly surprised if they do. But with power, it's just weird the way it works. Sometimes you can be certain a place has no power and they do, and another place doesn't. So we'll find out when we get there. A little word of caution, that area of northwest Oklahoma is a notorious dead zone for Verizon. Has been ever since the cell phone era began. So If we lose signal, we are going to be gathering a lot of video and pictures and things, and we'll post those. And then on our way back, we will have signal again as soon as we hit the Kansas border. So stick with us. We won't be down there long taking pictures. If you lose the live signal, we'll be back, within an hour or so. But it's weird. Sometimes, Buffalo is close. Shoot north. I'm sure it's probably very similar to this road in terms of how it's been treated. It's probably just fine.
Back on your stream.
Yeah. Solid. We are back. Remind everybody to refresh, rinse, and repeat.
We're also back on the storm mapping page too. So if you had both screens up, you can go back over the storm mapping's Facebook page. We have the live back up. We're getting ready to come in now to Buffalo, Oklahoma. We're not too far out, and we're already now noticing widespread tree damage. So this is just a little bit of a prelude as to what we're about to see. The fact that it's still in the around freezing here is a really good sign for Pratt too, in terms of staying at or below freezing.
Yeah, I wonder what their current ob is.
Let me check.
What's a little worrisome about Pratt is they've been consistently well below freezing since last evening when it started to precipitate. They dropped down to about 27 degrees, and they've held around 27, 28 all throughout a couple of these really heavy bands of rain. And if they don't rise much above 30, then the accretion is going to be much more significant at that colder temperature than it would be at, say, 30 to 32. So that's going to add to the ice, and could be one of the reasons why some of the models have been keying in on kind of a bullseye around the Pratt area. Is there's a pocket of cold air that's kind of probably trapped in a little bit of a valley there. It's kind of the Nenasko River Valley and the Arkansas River Valley kind of combined to produce a generally lower area of elevation through that zone. And these cold Arctic air masses are heavy, and they get trapped in those little valleys. Even the small ones will trap that colder air more effectively, and it's a lot more difficult to scour out, especially if you don't have a real strong warm advection pattern like we really haven't yet until later tonight, tomorrow. That's not expected to come in, so it's probably lending itself to more significant ice accumulations. So here's 160. This is what we'll take to cut over to Medicine Lodge on our way back.
Yeah, we're coming up on the border here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Pull up some of these obs. Still 28 in Pratt. There's still a cold pocket there.
28 degrees still in Pratt. Man, it's a mess there now. It's got to be. was terrible.
And that it's really notable that there's a cold pocket like right there in that area because it's still 29 degrees to the north of that.
Mike, I am not live on Facebook Live, but Don Murray is with Storm Mapping, so go to the Storm Mapping Facebook page. Actually, he just shut it down to look at obs, so he'll be back up here pretty soon. I'll let you guys know, and Don will let you know when he's back live again. We're going to be going live probably quite a bit on Facebook, both of us with our respective Facebook accounts. Once we get into Buffalo and we kind of get out of the vehicle and walk around, I'll leave the stream up. What I'll do is I'll try to find a fairly dramatic scene, leave the stream up on Stormscape Live, shooting that while we're out walking around, getting more Facebook Live video and photos. And, for me, I'll be getting out my other camera finally and getting some shots.
Yeah, Kerry, the road conditions really are not that bad. There's some intermittent icy spots. We're still going 15 to 20 miles an hour below the speed limit, so we're paying attention. Wow,
look at
Look at these trees.
Holy smokes.
Wow. Yep, we're getting
There.
into it now.
Oh,
yep.
look at that.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, there's a serious tree droopage, folks.
these power lines are really starting to be weighed down here, too.
I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit left to give you guys a little longer look at some of these trees that we may pass by. Pretty dramatic now that we're getting into the higher ice accumulations, and this is still way below what's potential with this system. I mean, this still looks to be about 3/4 of an inch to an inch of ice, and it's already doing this number on the trees. Just think what 2 inches would do, or 3. I'm not saying that that's what we're going to get, but some of the higher end numbers on the models are up in that range. So this is bad, but it could get worse. This is a long duration event. It goes right on into tomorrow morning. Some areas. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I had one person comment, going pretty fast for icy conditions.
Yeah, the roads are not icy. The grass is icy. I'm driving about 40, between 35 and 45 on a 65 mile an hour highway. And I feel pretty confident and good driving that speed. I feel like if I get up over 50, I'm not going to feel nearly as confident. So I'm keeping it down. Even though I could probably go faster, I'm not. You just never know. The young kid that we stopped to help out there who had spun out on 54, I said, were you going too fast? He says, no, I was actually going below speed limit. I just hit a little patch of ice. And he probably braked, panicked and braked, and that was all she wrote. If he would have rode it out, he probably would have been fine. But he probably doesn't have a lot of driving experience and just immediately braked when he hit the ice. And he went right off. But he was okay, just waiting for a tow truck. Pretty soft landing today if we do slide off. The ground is very wet and it's kind of cushioned by all the ice. So it should be a nice soft landing for the vehicle.
I think I need to invest in some of these 4G amplifiers. They have some pretty good ones out now.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I still stream in 3G.
Well, I know, and it's probably really, well, as of right now, but I think, going forward, I think 4G will be
definitely
even more.
Well, I've heard rumors that they're going to phase out 3G entirely.
Yeah.
So it's like time is limited.
It's like you're driving faster on the storm mapping page than you are on the Stormscape.
Ha.
That's what people are saying.
Driving very slowly, folks. We're all right. All is well. Man, we ought to be close to the border.
Yeah, we're
There's a little picnic table pull-out thing at the border. I might stop and take a piss. If I can find it.
Maybe if there's an Oklahoma sign, we take a picture of that.
Yeah. I'll need a large bush to hide my manhood as I take a piss.
All right. Let's see here. Jeez. Bit of ice.
No doubt, Jim, no doubt. Woodward, Oklahoma, 12 without power.
12 people.
I guess. She just said 12 without power. Oh, the humanity. Blue box of doom. We have a purple box of doom now. It's evolved to a purple box of doom.
HR still crushing Pratt. 1 3/4 inch.
Federal declaration coming for Woodward. We're going to get back either way, going east or west. We might want to, when we leave Buffalo, meander over to Woodward and then shoot north up to Pratt.
Yeah.
A lot of buzz about Woodward for some reason.
Yeah, with their 12 people without power, I'm sure that's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, here's a little batch of trees here, folks. Pretty dramatic here on the left. Slow down as we go by. Really drooping down. No salt or sand on this part of the road, but it's okay. different color of the roadway. This might be the border. Or at least maybe a different county.
No, the next county down would be the state line.
Okay.
No, we still got like 4 or 5 more miles to go for the border.
All right. And then what, about 10 miles beyond that for Buffalo?
Yeah.
So, yeah, right around noon.
Hey, thanks, Crystal. Yeah, they'll probably look a little more dramatic once we get down toward Buffalo.
Cimarron River. All right, everybody's still seeing and hearing us okay on StormscapeLive.tv. Don has a pretty solid signal on his Facebook Live on storm mapping. So if you're having any issues on Stormscape Live, you should have both up, and you can kind of look between both windows there. He's able to take his phone and show a little bit more of what's going on in the vehicle, which is handy dandy. All right, good. Just checking. We're getting close to the border, so I wanted to make sure we're still looking solid. It looks solid on my end, but sometimes that doesn't mean a lot. Again, a little warning here that we may have some signal issues once we cross the border. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. If you do lose our signal, keep trying between our Facebook live feeds. We may be doing those, be able to get those out a little easier. And otherwise, we'll be live as we head back up into Kansas later on this afternoon. Oh yeah, the power lines are really getting covered, folks. They're drooping down. We haven't seen any snapped ones yet, but man, they're coated in ice.
Yeah, they're really getting weighed down.
Yeah, the phones shoot in HD, and the camera that I use in the car is just still standard def. So you are going to get a...
And the border is just like right here.
Yep, I see the Welcome to Kansas sign here.
doesn't welcome us.
Tree damage. I'm gonna stop and get some pictures of this real quick.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Who knows how crazy it'll be in Buffalo. Some good stuff here. Got a good signal too. Got to take advantage of that. Folks, we have some tree damage here we want to shoot for you. I'm going to do a Facebook Live. Don's doing a Facebook Live on storm mapping as well. And I'm going to park the car here where we can get a good shot of some of these trees that have really taken a good hit. No service. I can't do it. I have AT&T, so I can't do a live here.
I've got a little bit. I'll see what I can do. Don is live again. He had shut down briefly, but he is back with his storm mapping live.
Pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
Off to Buffalo.
One of these bitching cars. Yeah, Bob, we're getting a lot of reports from Woodward. You'd be the one of many people that tell us about Woodward, so we're going to probably pass through there. At least we're going to try to.
Perry was saying that it appears the very worst is between Buffalo and Woodward, right of it in that zone. So we'll traverse that going east to Woodward.
Yeah, the other site to watch on is stormscapelive.tv.
Looked to be about an inch, would you say?
Yeah.
Maybe a little more.
Close.
Oh yes, definitely a lot of cleanup. Much time will be spent doing that. Feedlot. Cemetery to the left, cemetery to the right. That was a funny sign. Cemetery, cemetery.
Yeah, we're not going into a really great signal area.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. The signal is wrong. Thank God.
Let me check the map here. Yep. 1 mile to Buffalo.
Buffalo Creek. So that's the valley it's in, is the Buffalo Creek Valley. Significant little creek. We're back up strong on stormscapelive.tv, thankfully. I hope it lasts. Folks, remind everybody to refresh on stormscapelive.tv if they do not have a signal. Refreshing is the best way to get one. All right, coming into town. those lights on that tree are still lit, so they may have power.
I'm not seeing this disaster yet.
Could have been just we need to get into the residential areas.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Because there's still that's the thing right there.
Yeah. It's like a good residential region, and through here we'll
You
pick our way.
You can look and see. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Pick our way through that neighborhood and see what we can see. Start on this end and work our way down.
Already seeing trees down over there. See this tree down here on this power line.
Oh yeah. It's a good shot right there. Red Rock Inn.
Yeah, this is looking pretty dramatic here.
Yeah. Oh, this looks good up here on the left. Emergency crews down that way.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's definitely bad.
Put this up here. Video. The other way around there and see what's going on with that. He started moving as soon as I started to turn. Wow. Oh my God.
Whoa.
That branch just went down in front of us. You guys see that? Wow. It hit some wires and it even moved these. Good Lord.
The best part is I got it on video.
I think we got it on the live stream.
Wow, look at this. Yeah, this is a textbook ice storm disaster. Oh, what do we have down here?
Where?
Like straight up ahead there. Oh, nothing. I didn't know if this was like a road up here, like, covered in trees. Situations you can't get your camera ready fast enough.
Here's where that one crashed. Came down as we were coming by.
That big ass limb right there.
Mm-hmm. Hung on that wire. Got it. This way, look down each road and see if there's one that looks more dramatic than the other. That one looks pretty boring. This power line down, it looks like right in their yard. Yep. Yeah. Left or right?
I'd say right, and then maybe come back this way. I don't know. I just see this tree drooping down here. I don't know what's that one.
A lot of stuff there to the left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the end here.
This might be a get out and film kind of thing.
Well, there's a lot of tree damage, but
Right.
there's not. It's about an inch accumulation. It's amazing how much an inch will do. It's interesting.
Maybe go left.
Go back left again. So we got little areas of flooding in here with the freezing rain, folks. So it's a multifaceted storm. There's been a lot of rain through here. It's not all of it freezing, thank goodness. Some of it running off and producing some minor flooding. I like to get those barbed wire fences with ice on them.
Right.
So we'll go back there. That was a pretty photogenic one.
Yeah, I think there's saving grace down here. It's a little warmer.
Yep.
Little chipmunk running around.
Didn't really see any house damage, trees,
Yeah,
full trees or anything like that on houses, which is good.
Which makes me think that when this was coming down at some point, it was freezing at some points, but definitely not the entire time. Those heavier precip rates were going.
Alright, folks, this is a very photogenic fence here.
That is kind of cool.
Stop and get some shots of the barbed wire fence with the ice.
Yeah, my God, there's some photos of those.
A lot of tree branches coming down. You can just hear them crashing down around. I'm going to try to get a Facebook Live going here. I may have just enough of a signal. If so, we'll take a little walk outside and you might hear some of those trees crashing in the distance.
Snap, pop, crackle.
All right.
Off to Woodward.
Yeah, let's go to Woodward. Vector me, Victor. Were you shooting video or Facebook Live there?
That was just video.
Okay.
The Facebook Live video is a little less quality. So just keep that in mind if you are. We're shooting video. Up here, take a left at Highway 183.
Okay.
I'd have ripped out that buzzer a long time ago. I need my vehicle telling me what to do. Yeah, right here, take a left.
Okay.
At Hoy Street. And then just stay on this for 18 miles until you're going to take a left.
It's quite a bit farther south than I thought it was. But I guess it's necessary we head down there.
Is it necessary? I mean, we don't have
Is it?
No.
I say we go back to Medicine Lodge.
Yeah.
Kind of take that route.
I like that idea better, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think the type of damage we're going to see in Woodward now, we're going to see in Medicine Lodge, and especially Pratt.
Right.
Pratt is...
So, back that way again?
Yeah.
Turn around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me...
We need to try to get home back before dark.
Oh, yeah, because we definitely want to drive around. So, hour and 32 to Medicine Lodge. Let's come back here, take a right. And then just stay on this for 19 miles.
Or we could go back, well, yeah, we're going north, so then we'll shoot over on 160, right, to the east. Yeah.
Since we're going 64, we go up, and then it's 160 east, yes. HR not backing down with Pratt.
Folks, they still have power here for the most part, it looks like. Gas station's working, the dollar store's open. So, not too bad in Buffalo. A lot of people are going to have some cleanup to do in their yards. But other than that, and they're pretty used to it here. They get ravaged by extreme weather quite often in this part of the world. So, just another cleanup. A lot of people will have some nice firewood. A lot of bonfires will be going later on this spring, I'm sure. So, off to Medicine Lodge and then back to Pratt. That's what the agenda holds for the next several hours. Again, roads are in good shape. No issues. Temperatures are hovering around freezing. And roads have been treated nicely, so we have no travel issues. Hey, how's it going? Good. We're just out documenting the ice storm in northwest Oklahoma right now. Yeah, they got hit pretty hard down here, so we're going to kind of follow the really bad ice from here up to Medicine Lodge.